What's going on, guys? Stevie from the Minimasters here, and today we're going to talk about the 8 things you need to know in order to do a successful tachometer cluster swap in your truck. So as you guys may know, if you've seen other OBS trucks, some have tachometers and some don't. I guess the rhyme or reason is automatics didn't always come with tachometers. Like my truck out here is an automatic. It doesn't have a tachometer, and it's kind of a bummer if you like using the tachometer to gauge things. So you can swap clusters over, but there's 8 things you need to know in order for that swap to be successful. So the first one is the clusters physically swap, okay? They're physically compatible. So I actually could take this one and put it in my truck even though they're not actually compatible by year. Which brings me to my number 2 point, which is not all the years are compatible unless you repin them, which is a lot of extra work. So if you want less work, the 92 to 93 clusters swap evenly. The 94 to 95 clusters are an even swap. And the 96 to 97 clusters are also an even swap. The number 3 thing you ought to know, get my fingers straight here, are the PSOMs, which is the programmable speedo odometer module. It's a mouthful, are swappable between all the clusters, okay? However, I'm told that the earlier ones are a little more tone ring sensitive, which I see it as just try to get the one that's within your compatible year swap to avoid that issue. The 4th thing is the PSUMs are swappable between gas and diesel, even swap. So if you're trying to do that kind of crossover cluster, you're good to go. The number 5 thing you ought to know is the gas and diesel clusters physically swap between each other. As I said, all of them do. The only thing is the gas gauge and the tachometer gauge are specifically programmed to the fuel type, okay? Again, I see it as don't try to swap them, just try to find something within your fuel type and your year. The 6th thing you ought to know, I'm running out of fingers here, is you can determine the year of your tachometer by a serial number, part number on the back, okay? So in this case, I took this out of a truck, didn't see what year it was. I knew roughly it was in the OBS oval body year range. So what you can do is you can turn your cluster around, and right here on the back is this serial number, and it says F2TF, okay? The F and the 2 are the most important. The F means F150 or Ford, I'm pretty sure it's just Ford, and the 2 denotes the year. So this is from a 1992. Now I verified that because I've taken the one out of my truck out here and it says F5. So I know that is a 1995 and this is a 1992. The 7th thing you ought to know is when you swap clusters, you will inherit the mileage from the other vehicle if you don't swap over the PSOM, because the PSUM has your odometer mileage. People used to do that so they could sell a high mileage car for low miles. So case in point, my truck has 237,000 miles and this thing has 190. Really shaving off the years if I didn't swap those over. So they're contained, the odometer's contained in the card and you just have to swap those over. The 8th thing and final thing you need to know is that a V8 cluster will swap with a 6-cylinder cluster. And that's it, guys. That's all you really need to know. My suggestion is do your homework. I'm sure this is not the most comprehensive list, but try to find the clusters that are within your year and your fuel type, and you really shouldn't have any issues. So that's all for me, guys. Hit the subscribe icon over here. Check out some of my other videos. I'm Stevie from the Minimasters. Thanks for watching.